Welcome to another episode of Poko's Prime Time Picks.
Poko's Prime Time Picks.
Welcome back, everybody. It's another week of Poko Primetime Picks. I'm your host, Poko, and let me explain what we're doing here. So, the Poko Brothers and the Poko Sons have joined together to pick Survivor picks. And we do it a little different than the normal way, and we'll get to that later in the show. And we do this in honor of Butch Poko, the original Poko. Lucky to have a return host. I'd like to welcome Scott Poko back to the show. Welcome back, Scott.
Thanks, Mike. Happy Veterans Day. We are very proud of you and we thank you for your service. I just wanted to quickly, if you wouldn't mind sharing with us, can you tell us a little bit about your career?
Sure, thanks. So I did serve in the Air Force for 22 years. I was a radar operator and I was able to travel all around the world. And it has been probably what defined my life because after retirement, I still work for the Air Force and I enjoy working side by side with my brothers in arms. And thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're very proud of you, Mike. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a while since you've been on the show. How have you liked the episodes?
We always enjoy watching them. The kids are listening and Allie's been listening, so it's good stuff.
That's great. So, this is a part of the show review last week. Now, last week we got back on track. We went with the Philadelphia Eagles and we got a W, which brings our record to 5-5 for the season. Now, Scott, you were the principal primetime picker last week and you made the pick. What did you think of the game?
Well, I think that whenever you're betting against Dallas, that's easy money. So I think that's a good strategy, and I'll try to stick with that whenever possible.
Yeah, they seem to have a lot of problems on their roster right now. In Poco Primetime Picks, we get together as Team Poco and we make primetime selections. But we each have our own personal survivor teams. And we do this in the ECAST Outcast Survivor League. Now, this year's been a rough year. Michael, Terry, and Scott Poco have all struck out. Myself, I have 2 strikes. Last week, I went with Minnesota, and I was able to hold on and survive another week. Due to the Bears' poor showing against New England, we lost a bunch of teams in the league, so we're now down to 7 teams. So again, everybody has 2 strikes, so going forward, any week could be the last week.
For sure. Yeah, good job. You're hanging in there, Mike.
Hanging in there. This is a part of the show we call Candidate Corner. In normal Survivor, you can pick any game. However, we try and make it a little more challenging. So we pick the special games, and this is how we break it down. So you'll always be able to select the Thursday, the Sunday night, and the Monday night games. Those are no-brainers. But then we add a little twist. We give you the special games. We give you Thanksgiving, we give you the Christmas games, and we give you all the international games. So the Brazil game, the London, Germany, and then starting next year back on will be Mexico City, and then brand new location will be Madrid, Spain. So, and then at the end we add a little flair and we give you the national broadcast games. So each week you'll get the Tom Brady game and the Tony Romo game. And that's how we pick the games that you can choose from. Now this week, if Scott, if you could break down our candidates for the week.
Okay. So, first game I'm looking at is Washington versus Philly. And we just talked about how Philly crushed the Cowboys. Washington, they lost a heartbreaker. They're two very good teams, and they're going to be going at it. And that'll be a fun game to watch. We have another game, Green Bay versus Chicago. So, when I look at that game, Green Bay obviously wins the battle of the coaches. But to me, the real question is will Jordan Love continue to throw ugly interceptions? That seems to be his MO, and we'll see if he sticks with that. And then we've got KC versus Buffalo. So here's my questions for this game. Will the Chiefs' luck finally run out? They've been lucky all season and they keep winning, haven't lost yet. My other question is will the refs finally call a fair game? Seems like KC gets all the calls. It's true. So I don't know. I'm really looking forward to watching this game. Cincinnati versus the LA Chargers. Harbaugh is the first-year coach with the Chargers, has his team playing really well. This is the matchup of pretty boy quarterbacks, and who's got it better than the Chargers? And finally, we got Houston versus Dallas. This is the battle for Texas. The power seems to be shifting towards Houston, and I would just say be ready for Jerry to see Jerry on TV quite a bit this week.
Well, that's a great rundown, Scott. And one of the things I want to point out about primetime picks is how we really do give ourselves a tougher challenge than normal Survivor because there's 10 teams to pick from, and we've already eliminated 5 of those. So that makes it tough for us. Now that I brought in Scott Poko, I want to bring in a special guest. Now, in Poko Primetime Picks, we have obviously the 3 Poko brothers, and we have their sons. Earlier in the year, we had Michelle Poko, which is a sister. So I would like to welcome Allie Poko to the show. Allie, welcome.
Hey Mike, happy Veterans Day. I'm so proud of you and I respect your service. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And thanks for inviting me. I'm excited to be part of your podcast.
Wouldn't have it any other way. Speaking of the podcast, have you had a chance to watch any of the other episodes, and what have you thought?
Of course, I watch them all, and obviously my favorite part of the podcast is that you invite our entire family to participate. And it's always fun to hear the voices of the people you love so much and you miss so much. And we miss you so much, Mike.
Thank you. And it is good to have the family on there. Allie, when you were growing up, was sports ever really a part of your family?
As a Wisconsinite, sports was a huge factor in my family. I'm a born and into and raised Packer fan. Typical Sunday football day consists of cheese, brats, and polka, just like you imagined. I remember going to Lambeau Field and seeing Reggie White. I also remember seeing Brett Favre and thinking they were just the legends of the world, right? And then going to Lambeau Field just brings back a lot of incredible memories for me, and I'm sure for the rest of my family as well. Lambeau Field feels like home when you walk in, and it's amazing to be there. It's a really good feeling.
Those are great memories, and you did list a couple of really special players as it relates to NFL history for sure. So you're not an original Poco team member, but you did join the Poco family. And how have you liked joining the Poco?
So, Scott and I have been married for almost 15 years. So I've known the Pocos for almost 17 years. And I will say that I love them all so much. However, it is hard to be around so many Bears fans. And watching Packers Bears games with Scott has never been easy. We've had our battles in the living room. However, I'm so lucky to be part of our family and I appreciate all of you for everything.
And I never did throw the remote like she says I did.
Oh, he did. He did. The remote has been thrown many times.
Well, we're glad that you're a part of our family for sure. And unfortunately, you've had a little more success on those Bears Packers games. So,
Mike, come on.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, come on.
Well, when we grew up in the 80s, it wasn't quite.
Right.
So, so today, obviously you have Rhino Poco. Your son is sports a part of your household?
Oh, of course. I rarely see my husband or my son during the week because they're so involved with sports. Usually, I would say Sunday is our day of rest and the day that we get to be with our family, but Sunday is consumed of football. So there's really no day of rest for our family. We just enjoy whatever second we can get together, and that's how that goes with my family.
Yeah, I know those stories for sure. And we always look forward to the progress that Rhino makes and his sister Emily's as well. So thanks so much for coming on the podcast. If you would, we'd like you to stick around till the end if you can.
Absolutely.
That's great. So this is the part of the show where we go over our picks of the week. So Michael, could I get your pick of the week?
There's some tough games on the docket this week, and it hurts me to say this, but I think the safest pick here is going with the Green Bay Packers against the Chicago Bears. We just fired our offensive coordinator, and we haven't been looking too good. So I feel pretty good about Green Bay getting the win this week.
I'm going to go ahead and give my pick of the week. I agree with Scott Poko in that Kansas City's really been getting lucky, and they're not going to be at home this week. And I think the Buffalo Bills are going to take them out. CBS has two great games this week, but that's the Tony Romo game, and I think the Bills are going to finally break through. Terry sent us his pick. Terry, what's your pick of the week?
Looking at the games, it's kind of hard not to go Packers this week, so I'm not going to fight it. Going to go with the Packers over the Bears.
Scott and Rhino, what is your pick of the week?
Our pick of the week is Buffalo. No more KC masterpiece.
That's a great pick. It looks like Buffalo is really trending.
Poko's Primetime Picks.
So this is the part of the show that we call our Triple P. It is the Principal Primetime Picker. So let me explain it. So on Poco Primetime Picks, we are a democracy. However, if you look in the dictionary under the word principal, it basically says that there's one person in charge for the week. So that person takes in all the picks that the other hosts have given, and they have to make the tough final decision. Poco Primetime Picks, we've had a lot of different principal pickers. We've had Rhino Poco, Michael Poco, Terry Poco, Scott Poco, myself, Michelle Poco. However, we've never had a true principal picker. And I'm happy to say that this week, Allie Poco is going to make our pick. She is a professional principal. So if anybody can make that top pick, it will be her. She is the principal of the J.T. McWilliams Elementary School. Go Jets. Allie, what is your pick?
Okay, so I am really in my love era right now, obviously. I'm a Packer fan. And from what I am seeing of Caleb Williams, I definitely think the Packers are going to dominate this week.
I don't agree with that pick. Scott,
Come
do you
on, Mike.
agree with that pick, Scott?
I think Caleb's going to show something this week.
Caleb has nothing to show, guys. Come on.
Unfortunately, history would show that Caleb will struggle, but we can keep our fingers crossed for sure. But because Allie is a professional principal, we will abide by her decision. Thank you so much for that pick, Allie.
You're welcome.
This is a part of the show where we close things out and we whisper bad things about our principal picker, but we will abide by her choice.
Go, Pack, go.
Go, Pack, go. Scott, do you have anything to plug?
No, nothing to plug this week.
All right. I want to say goodbye. I want to say make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Go Jets! Bye bye, everybody.
Poco's Primetime Picks.